Everyone you meet has a purpose in your story. Everyone who crosses your path is there for a reason. The truth is, no meeting is a coincidence. Every soul enters your life with purpose, and in someone else's story. So do you.
We are live. Hello, hello.
We are. Hello. How are you doing, Gabby?
I'm good. So I extended my intro, and initially I only had like 2 minutes, which it was fine. Just one song, get into it. Now I get to like vibe and just like play music and just tune in and stuff. Like it's like so much nicer. It just gives me time to like just do stuff in the background. So very cool. But I'm like really excited about our stream. We've been talking about this for quite some time, and I am really super. I mean, it's just so nice to always have babes on. Like every time I get a babe from Babesnet, everyone that is part of the community always has an incredible story and always doing really cool stuff. And one of the things that I find, it's not like it's a shame, but sometimes when you're just busy and you're working and you have a full-time job and you have a life, there's not a lot of time left to build, to really be loud on socials and really share about a lot of things, which means that some of us don't get the spotlight that we deserve. And I think getting our babes on is something that, I want to make it my mission. And I always love having incredible chats with the girls, and we always have like really cool stuff to say. And there's a lot of incredible women behind incredible companies in the space. So today we have Tamara here with us, or Aramath from Rootstock Collective.
Hey.
Hello. From the Rootstock Collective. Where are you tuning in from actually today?
I am tuning in from The Hague, the Netherlands. I have moved here not so long ago. I'm looking forward to maybe connect with some babes from Amsterdam. There's actually 2 amazing women. Shout out to Anna over there, who's enjoying the tulip season somewhere and getting married soon. Amazing.
Ooh, congrats.
And yeah, I was just gonna say, like I've been working in crypto for this last like 5-6 years, and when I met Cami, like literally in Cannes, I was just so surprised with the vibes that this community actually brings. Like unbelievable to see not only the amount of women gathering for one single purpose, but also the vibes, the energy. And that's what actually drove us to, make that campaign in Paris and now having this stream happening right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing. Like, I feel like if you've been in this space for a while, like, I mean, And I see Flo in the chat, by the way. What's up, Flo? Hello, hello. And this is something that like Flo and I initially, like when we created Babesnet, it was something we did for ourselves. Like we obviously traveled to a lot of conferences. We wanted to have our own space for our girlfriends and us, and just to hang out and have like really a place where we could just be ourselves, but also to grow professionally. And everybody knows that, if you want to make it in crypto, it's about connections, it's about your network. And I guess it's the same everywhere. Like every industry has its own, has its own dynamics and ways of doing, but ultimately networking is what's going to really make the difference between you and someone else. And it's, there's only a certain amount of skills needed to hit a threshold where ultimately it's about, your skills maybe get you through the door. But then at some point, if you want to grow further, really it is your network for a certain like level, right? And I'm not talking about necessarily like entry level positions, but if you want to grow,
Yeah.
it really is about who you know. And also it's going to make your life so much easier, since crypto is based on community and collaboration. And as a company, it's very hard and it's very rare to have companies that are completely dissociated from the ecosystem, whether it's their own or others. So even like working for a company, you are going to have to, be in touch and collaborate and maybe do campaigns with other, players in your own little bubble or outside and so on. So again, like those connections are so important. And this is something that we really wanted to
100%.
facilitate. It makes such a difference.
Plus, I mean, it's not just that. Like I studied finance, right? I come from Buenos Aires. I come from a deeply, let's say, weird, kind of a bit corrupt economical financial system, and
A
something
bit.
that I think we have all witnessed, right? I mean, most honestly, I say Argentina, but in my personal opinion, deeply political, like economic world, like universally is corrupted. That's why we're in DeFi. But I think it's important to remark that a lot of women were not part of the building of that financial system, and that we're currently witnessing the rebuilding of that with DeFi. I know it's been happening for some years now, but the fact that we have the opportunity to actually build it and influence it over what it currently and in the future will look like, if women are in that room, we're actually for the first time going to build something that works for us too. And that's why I think I love what Babesnet is currently doing. It's not just the events and the community, it's removing a bit of that intimidation factor that women have when they start in like the industry. No matter if you're coming from a technical background, which can be harder, of course, because it's still a male kind of like dominant team in almost all companies that I've heard of, but also about the fact that we can get in, like you just said, with the network. This space is for you, like the people who are already on it. This is how you get started, what you were just saying, kind of like the on-ramp matter for a whole community of women everywhere in the world.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's definitely like, I know how hard it was to get started, like walk into the first conference and not know anybody and like having to like just, network for the first time. It's just tough and it takes a lot of courage. So if we can make this easier and, for others, we can all benefit from it. I think it's something that at the end of the day, and then we can do fun events and do cool stuff together, like our event in Paris. I mean, I wasn't there, but I mean, we edited the after movie and it was such a vibe. And like, there was we did this in like so little time and so many people showed up and it was just so wholesome. Like the guys from the restaurants, they put so much love.
Shout out to a lot of people, Flo, for also putting all that work. That Korean couple who not only literally cooked the most amazing food, oh my God, that was delicious, but also the vibes, the deco, all the pink flowers, the rosé. I know we did a huge shout out via X, but if you haven't already, give those people a review on Maps of 5 stars.
Yeah,
amazing. And once again, of course, the women, man, there was a lot of people that I saw again from Cannes, which was really nice. But there was also a lot of new girls coming, and they were like, I didn't know this space existed at all. Mostly, and shout out to Maggie, know about SheFi, but they didn't know about this event. So yeah, let's display that amazing after
Yeah,
movie.
here we go.
Honestly.
So much FOMO.
Flo being the main star.
They're so cute.
Such great vibes.
No,
Yeah.
so cute.
Oh,
Oh
it
my
was
god.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
take me back.
yeah, honestly, man, I wish we could do that again. Once again, the women in that event were amazing. And Flo, man, thank you. You were an amazing organizer as well. And of course, thank you, Cami, too, for the last minute request. It was amazing.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think like, and that's one thing that I think at the end of the day, like it really, what really makes events and what really makes, you know, companies, communities, it's curation at the end of the day, especially at this stage in the market when you want to put something out for people, especially for women, like you need to really curate the vibe that you want to put out, get the right partners. And also like we've been so lucky like working with you girls. Like you know, it's like you have like 3 incredible women on the team and I'm sure there's more, but like we've been talking to you girls and just we've been like able to just collaborate with incredible partners and just keep it, you know, babes only, which has been like really fun. And so yeah, I think it's gonna be really cool once we do. We also have online sessions coming through. So if any girls are interested in finding out more about, you know, Bitcoin DeFi opportunities explained by the girls from Rootstock Collective, we're hosting 2 sessions this week and the next. And I think it's also important. Of course, like the IRL really makes a difference, but having these digital experiences are also important because we're all over the world and sometimes like people just can't travel. Like I couldn't go to the event itself, but I really look forward to really having these workshops and diving into really hearing it like from yourself in the first place and like explained from women by women. And I think it really is something that makes a big difference. And since we're all quite mature in, I guess, in our journey in crypto and Web3, can never stop learning, right? So we might as well do this.
100%.
Yeah, and especially where like the state of the market, it feels like there's a lot of noise that you know what got removed and a few companies that stayed, right? Hi L House, how's it going? And then we have Rules Crypto asking if I have a bag of PNG of you looking for the group. Rules the group it's babes only, unfortunately. Like I don't know if you're a girl, but it's only babe. So so tell me about Rootstock because there's not a lot of Bitcoin companies, or at least Bitcoin DeFi companies that have survived this long. We've seen a huge rise and wave of ordinals. There's been various protocols that have been like built on top of Bitcoin that, you know, promise programmability on Bitcoin, meta protocols, L2s. And ultimately, there's not that many players that have left or even that have delivered from what we've seen in the last year. A lot of them are like shutting down. So, you know, Rootstock is definitely one of those that has been around for quite a long time. And that's the thing, right? Like if you're at least 1 year old in not just Bitcoin, crypto, like you're a dinosaur. So what's the story?
100%.
What's the story? So, how are you guys doing it?
I mean, of course, I'm not a founder, but Rootstock is actually an Argentine founded chain. So that gives me extra pride to be part of this.
I didn't know that. That's so cool.
Yes. Shout out to Ali, Diego, Sergio, all of the people, amazing people behind it. So what it is, and I'll try to put this simply because I also don't want to be the kind of girl who put this into technical terms. So let's try to simplify it. So first of all, the typical phrase is Rootstock is Bitcoin's oldest and longest running smart contract layer. So what does that mean? It basically means that you can take your Bitcoin and actually use it. You make it programmable. You can lend it, you can borrow against it, you can earn yield, access DeFi, all of that stuff that you cannot normally do with Bitcoin because of how it's coded. Normally, you can think of Bitcoin, right, as a vault, just a vault, literally an item, which is you buy it, you log it, and that's it. If you take Rootstock, what Rootstock does is basically you can build your own house around the whole vault. You can do a lot of things with it. So you can have a lot of different like tooling around it without changing the security of it. So you're using the bedrock of the security of Bitcoin and you're making it programmable to do things around it. And that's basically why we decided to make a DAO out of it. I mean, you have a chain that allows you to build a lot of things around it. Let's give builders money or grants to actually build around it. So basically, before the DAO was born, if you were a developer and you wanted to build something on Bitcoin, your options were you were lucky with a token raise, you were self-funded, or you go to a VC or you join a company, which of course limits your possibilities because not all of us have a great idea and all of those resources. So basically, one of the parts of Rootstock Collective, which is the grants program, is basically giving all these people with great ideas the possibility to be funded by a community. And of course, that community is decentralized. You need the token of Rootstock, which is Rootstock Collective, which is
Right. I
RIP.
was going to ask, how does one
Yeah.
participate in the DAO? Is there any requirements?
Correct. So there is one main requirement, which is you need to acquire RIF in order to both be a builder and vote for the proposals. So if I have a great idea and Cami wants to vote for it, first, me as a builder, I'll have to go through a small KYC, which avoids, of course, all the red flag builders, the scams, the people that we don't want making noise in the DAO. Then I will make an off-chain proposal in the governance forum. I will interact with all the community, which right now is 1.8K stakers. Then, of course, after 2 weeks of discussion in the governance forum, if I have a positive notes from people and people like my project, of course, sometimes there is time for adjustments and stuff, I'll go to the on-chain proposal, which is the third step. And for that on-chain proposal, I'll need 1,000 stake RIF, which is somewhere around, I think, $15 to $20 today. So that will allow me to create a proposal in the DAO and then wait for the voting time for everyone in the community to vote. And if I get accepted, I basically get the money after the voting process ends, which is 7 days. Now, what happens in Cami's end? In order to vote, you need to acquire RIF, just like the builder. So I can acquire it again.
Is there a minimum amount required?
No, it's literally one RIF. So it's basically, I think, 30 cents, 40 cents max.
Wow.
So
Okay.
I mean, you can get
Anyone.
a lot of voting power with only
Nice.
$10, $15. So yeah, that's the main goal of our campaigns. We're trying to airdrop like, something as ridiculous as like $5, $3, and with that you can already vote. You can already be
cool.
part of the decision and the future of Bitcoin projects, which we think, of course, is very exciting.
Rules Crypto is asking in the chat, is it private, as in like private? What do you mean by that, the DAO? Rules Crypto, what do you mean by private?
Private? What? Sorry, did I said private at some point?
No, someone in the chat.
They did.
Yes. Okay, cool. And so basically the funds are allocated in a way that is transparent and it's the community that gets to decide. Like, what are the kind of what are the kind of projects that people are currently like developing? Is there any, what's like the biggest project that you guys have funded in terms of like grants, or like amount that has been given?
There's been 25 successful funded projects, and mind you that the DAO itself, it was founded like a year and 2 months ago, so we are very recent.
Wow, okay.
The dynamics and it's very new. Rootstock has been here forever, but the collective is kind of new still. I want to make a huge shout out to one of my favorite projects, which is Geyser, which is basically also accelerating Bitcoin adoption, but through basically a crowdfunding project, which is basically you can go there, you can post whatever you want, an education project, culture, community, tools, and their community as well, which is part of our community, votes, and you can get or raise money for your project.
Let
And the
me
thing is,
bring it up.
of course, the
What are they
collective,
called?
yeah,
Geyser. I'm gonna bring,
Geyser Found. Yeah, I'm gonna
or if
send
you
it
can send
here.
it to me and I'll share it so I can
Yeah,
like screen. That's like the cool thing.
100%.
Cool thing about streaming is that you can actually like screen share and show stuff.
Yeah, go for it. And they are everywhere. They're in Latin America, funding schools, funding like very humanitarian like projects, also just events. These people are amazing, and yeah, the impact that they're making into the community is just massive. And you know, they were born as well with Arista Collective grant. Shout out to them because they've been working nonstop and the platform is working and they have reached 32 million staff. So
Oh, that's
congrats,
amazing. So
congrats
they
to them.
do they're doing microloans. I know this is it's a new
Yeah,
product that's starting.
it's not yet live.
Oh, but
We
they are
also
going to be
have
doing it.
another project coming for loans that it's called Zerem Finance. Tropicus is going to probably another amazing project from Roosdog is going through a reform of the protocol because of all the AI hacks that have been happening. They want to stay up to date, but another amazing lending product. So yeah, probably my favorite project, and I hope builders don't get mad at this one because I do have a deep connected relationship with them. But Geyser is one of my favorite ones for sure.
I mean, honestly, using crypto for good has always been, it's actually what got me into crypto professionally. The first project that I worked with was an impact project. Yeah, it was a collaboration with an NGO that was supporting the rainforest and so on. Unfortunately, it never launched, but like we brought it to Davos. It was part of like WEF. So that whole like refi movement back in like 2021 was quite big. I think it was kickstarted by the whole, I don't remember the names, but it was a company that was like putting carbons on chain, and then there were a lot of like impact projects that spun out of that. It's definitely nice to see that there's still organizations that are using this, because even though like the hype obviously died off, like there was always a need for grants, for support, and so on. And crypto really offers this alternative to fundraising for companies and or just organizations and so on. So it's really cool to see that more people are still doing it.
Yeah,
Nice. I didn't know.
100%. And you know, I want to be straight, right? Like, because I think it's very important to mention what you're saying regarding the whole security issue. I mean, we're looking at an industry that went through, I think it's more than 3 billion in 2025, which is not a small number. I mean, the Bybit hack alone was massive. And in general, like these numbers should always matter when we're looking at an industry. And of course, when women have, let's say, a small portion of the jobs. So I think what we need to think about when it comes to grants or when it comes to security in general here is that many products, many of the small ideas that people are having are suffering a lot because people think, you know, I will get hacked. I won't be able to build this because someone will do it better than me with AI or whatever reason. I think it's very important to, of course, take this in account if you're a builder and you're looking forward to maybe apply with us, but don't let that discourage you from having a creative mind. It's very easy these days, and especially with all the media acts, like all the like reels every time being targeted with you can't do it, you will get hacked, to keep that positive mindset. Because if not, you will never start building something that can actually work. And once again, even Aave, Drift, and many big protocols right now are having exploits and declining. Let's remember that it's not the death of DeFi. It's just a reminder that we need to keep up as an industry, right? We need to keep the standards high and we need to keep reinventing ourselves. TradFi has went through massive hacks, even though they were not, let's say, digital, but it's with quantum as well, computing. This will keep happening and we'll need to stay up to date, but don't give up.
So
it's
like
a very important message to all women.
So yeah, I mean, this is really valid, right? Because like obviously when you look at a protocol of the size of, for example, like Wasabi, or the whole layer zero exploit, it is very intimidating, and it has definitely affected the not just like the builders, but
Momentum,
also
the
the
vibe.
confidence of people putting their money into it, right? Because at the end of the day, it's not like we're seeing yields that are comparable to, the DeFi summer 2017. Like it's just not the same, right? So there's definitely a lot of work that needs to be done to regain confidence of our industry as a whole. And this year has been quite tough specifically, right? Just because of, on top of that, all the hacks. But it doesn't mean that, like, again, like every company is going to get hacked, but there definitely needs to be something to be done. Is there, like, what do you see? Because obviously you are, if you're giving money, or at least you're voting for a proposal to give a grant to a new project, is there something specifically that you are looking for, or some new requirements, especially when it comes to security, that are necessary for the team to take in, and in terms of precautions, like what do you guys look for?
Yeah. So the previous guidelines for grants was very flexible back in the day. Of course, AI was taken in account because 1 year and a half ago, this already existed. But we have just updated today our guidelines into what projects we are looking for. So basically, everything that it's audit-wise, we're not paying for audits. We are definitely looking for projects that are either a bit more mature and already have code ready set up. That doesn't mean that it's completely disqualified if you don't have anything, but of course, it's a lot harder to justify a full-on grant when you don't have anything and you're not ready for this industry. That's the harsh, cold truth. But given that, we also have a technical team that supports us and help people give a small kind of audit into the code that you have built to make, like, let's say, the most basic measurements if you are actually complying with, let's say, the standards of Rootstock to not suffer any hacks. Apart from that, Rootstock Collective itself, staking is non-custodial. So basically, any product that interacts with our tokens, the tokens of the people, is an audit smart contract built on OpenZeppelin, which is basically the gold standards of smart contracts. So in that sense, the DAO and the tokens themselves are very, very safe. And we're hoping that the people that are bringing ideas to the collective can stem on those standards.
Right. I mean, to be fair, this is not just a Rootstock collective, let's say, decision, right? Like, it seems like the you are moving together with the industry. I've had Amatia from Eterna Capital on my last stream, and the conversation was exactly the same. It's like we're in the part of the industry where, like, if you're going to be asking for money, you need to prove that you have a product, that you're going to be generating real revenue, that you have product market fit, or at least you're able to reach that, and that there's a future for your product. You're building something solid. It's no longer throwing money at any founder with like a cool idea. The hype cycle is kind of over, for at least for now. It's real numbers, right? So the fact that
the industry is maturing as well, right? Like, it's also very different to see the vibe of the people. For example, I'm sure that you witnessed this, Cami. Like, the vibe of, for example, Cannes compared to last year, even though it was amazing, of course, in BavesNet, it was completely different from last year.
Yeah,
like
100%.
You can already see the market maturing through the people who is attending as well. And of course,
there's
that
no more community.
Translates into
there's no more community, like the community that usually comes and hangs out, and the NFT community. It's no longer there.
Yeah, and that translates into product and creativity as well. That's why I'm saying, like, when it comes to hackathons, there's a lot of people there, of course, for the money. But something that I'm really hoping not to lose is the creativity of people developing actual tools for DeFi. Because, of course, the institutional trend is happening and we see it everywhere. But I really hope those devs and those people who came with these brilliant ideas, even though some worked, some didn't. It's okay, that happens. You cannot have a world where all idea works. But if we lose those people's hope into making it into crypto, and we lose kind of like the fun factor, then DeFi is going to transform a bit into the same tone as TradFi, which, I guess, again, it might happen because the industry is maturing, but it was kind of my favorite part of DeFi. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm really
Yeah.
hoping that doesn't happen.
Yeah, it's hard, right? Like if you've been around for a while, like the vision. But again, like I think it's important to remember that okay, the industry is converging with TradFi, and we are definitely integrating, and it's becoming more just infrastructure. But at the same time, you do have projects like Geyser, for example, that or yourself, right? Like that are still embodying and carry that decentralized potential and really bring that forward. So it's not completely over. It is definitely smaller, but it's definitely not completely over. About hackathons, I don't know who was saying this or where I saw this, but or if it was like in the middle of a conversation, but someone tweeted about the fact that like there was a bit of an issue with hackathons these days because a lot of the times it was like college students that were just rinsing and repeating the same ideas. They would just like build what kind of like what as they had figured out what the like what the company that was organizing kind of wanted to see, and they were just like farming the hackathons, like getting the prices and then moving on and never actually building something. Is that true? Like what's the status on hackathons these days? Like do they still work, or is it just like college kids like getting the money and just like going away and moving on to the next?
I really hope my friends who are resisting hackathons don't hear this, but yeah, so basically as director of ops and admin and finance, I don't have, let's say, maybe the most informed opinion on the actual best performance of hackathons. That will definitely be with Elle and our precious community manager, Georgia. But I can tell you this. What I am seeing is that it's only getting harder to judge on quality when it comes to hackathons and AI. Man, like the advancements that people are making with AI are crazy. And I know you have heard this everywhere you go. But hackathons, you give people, let's say, a similar time 1 year ago and now, and the progress that they can make with these tools is just it's outrageous. It's amazing. It's good on a side, but it's also not giving the ROI that it's giving like a few years ago, and people are not putting the same input or work into the hackathons. And I'm not saying that they're not working harder. They definitely have another challenges. For example, security layer is definitely getting harder as well. But standards needs to go even higher, and the products need to be more sophisticated, because let's say that an MVP of many products back in the day took 3 days, 4 days, and now you can literally hack in 2, 3 hours if you know how to prompt properly, and of course, the basic of development, because you cannot do it if, for example, you have no idea on how a test net works, in my opinion. So I think it's getting a lot harder. I think we're going to be seeing a bit less of hackathons until the industry has decided how to face the risk with AI and how the potential of these tools. But definitely I would even like put my hand on fire for this, but I think the ROI of them has reduced a lot with AI. A lot.
Wow.
A lot.
But isn't the bar, it's
Yeah,
just a matter of like setting guidelines. If I like my cousin is doing a master's right now and in political science, and they have a lot of papers that they need to do, but they obviously everyone's using AI, right? But like the academic world had to really sit together and decide, okay, what are the rules? How are you going to do it? It's a bit of a pain right now. Apparently they need to explain why they wrote that thing and why they prompted and how they prompted. So it's a whole, it's going to take you even longer to write a paper with AI without, I think, at this point. But,
it's trying to make it human again, like the basics of thinking, right? It's the same. Like back in the day, we used to copy Wikipedia content into our exams or things like that. And now it's like, okay, at least you had the mental weight of thinking what you needed to put. These days, you don't even have to do that, man. Like you can actually just copy the thing that someone asked, paste it with enough context and enough information, and you're done.
Yeah.
Like it's amazing, but at the same time, it takes away a lot of the thinking process that a lot of people need in order to make things extraordinary and not just good.
I'm of the opinion, because like, I mean, so Max and I, like through Mood Labs, we've been vibe coding, creating stuff, and like at the end of the day, you still need to have a mind of your own. You still need to have had that experience to be able to use AI as a tool. The thing is, like, if you don't know what the end, like, you need to have the capacity to already know what you want and what the end product or end, end output is going to be looking like, to know how to prompt properly. And if you don't have that experience, you're going to produce slop. And that's like just one thing,
Yeah.
especially for creative work. I think at the end of the day, like, and there's this big talk going about like being tastemakers and having that experience. And yes, like the lower arching
Yeah.
people that may not have so much experience, yeah, they're going to suffer. But for someone that's been in the game for a while and that can really visualize things, and all they need is like an accelerator to get there faster, and that's what AI brings them, they're going to win. But you still need to have that experience. You still need to have the experience. Nobody can take that away from you, and your prompts are you. And obviously you need to know how to prompt. But I think it's really important to like still stay and see it as a tool. And also all this vibe coding, I'm sorry, but like we've automated everything that there was to be automated in Babesnet, and like that's it. Once you build it, like all these people that talk about building, like real talk, like we've done it. We've built the Babes bot. Yeah, there's like maintenance work to do. It's a directory. The affirmation. It's a directory. You can find stuff. It welcomes people. We've automated our onboarding system. Once you join Babesnet, you have a form. Once you join in, like I get an instant notification. I have the option to like accept you, decline, waitlist you like straight in my Telegram, and then I can send you a message which is sent to me. So like the whole thing is like automated. Like I don't waste time on it, and we've automated all the processes that were just taking so much time. But like that's it. You know what I mean? Like, okay, maybe like some tweets.
I mean, that's the thing, right? Like you need to use AI. So you're a founder. I'm actually a co-founder of another company in TrackBuy. And of course, we've also been like vibe coding in the beginning because we come from different backgrounds. I come from finance.
What's the company called? Well. I didn't know that.
The other company is called Saito. And something that it's important to always keep in mind, because basically what we do as well is AI invoicing for companies in Africa. Nothing to do with crypto, but it has to do with code. And I think it's relevant to what you were saying, which is, if you're going to use AI for coding, please always remember what's your goal and what problem you are solving. Just when you're creating a company, it's the same vibe. You need to know what tone, who you're building this for, what's the reason, what are the guidelines, and then maybe add context for the AI to actually understand how you're going to do it. And still then, don't let the whole conversation go without watching what the AI is doing, because even though Claude 4.7 is the best model yet, even though I prefer the previous one, it's still doing a lot of slop work. And you need to be very careful, and more specifically when you're building anything that has to do with money or security. For you, of course, for example, the security of your community members. Like, this is something really important and cannot be disregarded when vibe coding. But I think it's a very amazing tool for founders with creative ideas, but still we need to be careful to not lose our way and let AI run the road.
But again, like it's like a problem solution thing, right? You're vibe coding a solution to a problem that exists. What I found is a lot of people are getting lost in the vibe coding and they're just vibe coding, and everyone's got agents running, and they're not closing their laptops because the agents need to run. And what are you actually doing? Are you really solving that many issues in your day? Like, you know what I mean? Like, are you spending more time trying to
100%.
When we looked at what to automate for Babesnet, for example, I used Claude. The best way to do it is like you describe everything that you do, day-to-day operations, everything that there is that you're doing. And then you ask, obviously, your LLM, like Claude, ChatGPT, whatever you're using, what can you be automating? Just simple, right? Just you're working with AI, ask AI, like it will know better. And then obviously it will give you like different things. But there were tasks that were obviously proposed to me to, ways to automate it that ultimately would have taken me way more time to just do it instead of just doing it myself. So you really have to like make sure that unless you enjoy the process for the sake of doing it, but if you want to be productive, sometimes you gotta say no.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. It's so easy to get lost in the process. So Cami, give me 1 second. I'm going to bring something very important to this stream to remember my full identity. I put it on the side of the table, but I'm bringing it back, which is this huge thermos and my mate. I cannot live without it, so I'm bringing it back
Please
for
do.
energy matters.
Cheers.
And on that
I'm here with
sense,
my-
I think something. Cheers.
Is there any AI companies that are like building that you guys are looking at? Are there any AI projects coming to Rootstock Collective for grants at the moment?
Not AI focused, to be honest. Right now, mostly what we're looking at is DeFi and tooling and infra. The idea, of course, is to bring as many projects as we can quality-wise, but projects that will drive the TVL and the usage, of course, of Rootstock to everyone in the world. So Geyser was an amazing example, and it's crowdfunding, but we're also looking at protocols that do, for example, lending, or that are bringing lending into another apps around the world to use Rootstock as well, and investing maybe in the future into our vaults. So yeah, that's the main focus right now.
There's quite a few lending and borrowing protocols on Bitcoin at the moment. Like, let's say someone that is already doing that wants to basically, integrate or join your ecosystem. Can they also come at a more like mature state? Is it something that, or do you also do outreach? Like, how does it work on your end?
Yeah. So after this call, for example, I have a call with Give ETH, which is also an amazing crowdfunding company that is doing that on Ethereum, and they're quite big. Now, the idea, of course, is, for example, if the conversation is successful, to actually bring them to the community, and that they can do crowdfunding not just with Ethereum, but also with Rootstock. So you can come at any stage of your company. The community will always welcome you. The question is, are you in a stage or in a kind of product that is ready to actually receive a grant? Or maybe you can go through the Hacktivator or just a talk with our devs to see how to develop your project. Or are you maybe mature enough to talk about a partnership or just, integrating Rootstock? So all projects are welcome to talk with us, but grants have specific guidelines that, again, you can check always on the governance forum or in our website, or you can talk to us via Telegram in our group chat.
Okay, nice. Yeah, no, that's really helpful. So you are expanding outside of Bitcoin. Hence, also I wanted to ask, because obviously you have a .eth, like you have an ETH domain on your name. What's the lore behind the Aramath?
Ooh. Oh my God, this story is awful. So shout out to my ex, Gaston Aviliano. We were actually gaming back in the day, League of Legends, and I was like, I don't know what my nickname should be. And he was like, what if we grab your name and we make it like the other way around, and we just add some random letters to make it more epic? And I was like, okay, that works. So that was my League of Legends name for a very long time. And when I met my first DeFi colleagues, one of the first activities that we did together was actually playing League of Legends, because we were degens. So I was like, okay, my ENS will be the name of League of Legends. And so there it is until today, Director of Ops at Rootstock. And my ENS and RNS naming services from Rootstock, it's Aramath. So that's the story.
Amazing. I mean, very, very fitting. Very fitting. Very good. Like, yeah, no, that's a great, honestly, great story. Great story. I never played League of Legends, to be honest. If I have to think of like my name, I think I changed my crypto name like so many times. I don't know, just so confused in the beginning of like, what is it? What is it gonna be? Or like trying to find the right thing. And then I just like went to Kamsky, which has been like my nickname. It's been my Instagram for just the past decade or more. So yeah. But I love stories like these, of like you're taking your tag name just straight into it. That makes so much more sense.
Yeah. At some
Do you
point, I
still
thought
play?
about making it more professional and being like Tam Learner, but I was like, nah, I like to keep the lore. Like, this is actually part of my identity. I mean, again, I was going through a transition between, am I going to be kind of like a degen forever? This is what I started. Maybe now it's more institutional. But then I was, this is part of DeFi as well. This is something that we should preserve. So I was like, I'm just gonna keep it. It's gonna stay there.
Yeah, until you can just keep it there. Do you still play League of Legends? You do.
From time to time. I don't. It's too stressful, man. And to be honest, talk about a man like invasion in terms of like energy. Holy crap! I know there's some girlies out there, but it's still very male dominated. Um, but yeah, honestly, I enjoy it. They have different kind of games now inside. It's not just one main game. It's good when I'm a bit stressed out. I just go for one small game. That's it.
A little therapy
Yeah.
in League of Legends. Does the fix. I
Yeah.
find it too, to be honest. Like I've been playing just like PlayStation games, honestly. But it's so therapeutic. You just like you switch off and you just play and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes it gets a bit
100%,
stressful. Sometimes
100%.
you end up being more stressed out than like when you started, but at least it's a different kind of
Maybe.
stress.
Yeah. Not League of Legends. I would not recommend to anyone who has not been. I've been playing for like more than 10 years. So now I of course know the dynamic
Okay.
and the toxicity sometimes around some people. But if you're new and you want to start with something to relax, don't go with League of Legends. It's not a good idea.
Too much of a big. I mean, most people play Roblox these days.
That is so Gen Z that I've never touched it yet, but I should. At some point, I should. My nephew has mentioned it a few times. I should try it. Yeah, he tells me about Roblox, and I tell him like, oh, you should invest in Bitcoin. It's kind of like a weird relationship that we have, but it works. It works, and he's interested as well. So
I mean,
so far so good.
I have a theory. Like all these hacks, it's either North Korea, fine, or it's just Roblox
Yeah.
15-year-old kids that are learning how to hack
telling
and they don't
you.
give a fuck and they're just like
Both.
hacking
Both.
everyone.
Both.
Like no regrets. Maybe they'll go to jail for a year or two, and then once they leave, there's a job waiting for them, and they can convert to like a white hacker. You know, like yeah, it's not a
100%.
bad career. Not very ethical, of course, but like not a bad career. But you get in the news for doing something outrageous, siphoning millions off, and then you just go to jail, and you get a job at the end. I do
Man,
not recommend though.
They need a lot of patience though. That's something that I don't see yet on my nephew. I love you, Luke, but you're not there yet. He literally like
Hi,
loses
Melissa, by the
patience
way.
after like a few hours of study. Hey. And there's people like, for example, with the 3F hack, I think it was somewhere around like 6 months or 7 months of cooking for the hack. So they do need a lot of work behind it. I was quite impressed by reading the threads on X about it.
But those weren't like
It's scary.
15-year-olds. Those were actually like they met in person at some events. There were
They
follow-ups. Invested.
Yeah.
They invested
Yeah.
$1 million to get 10 out, or how much did they get out? Oh my god. Yeah. Really sophisticated
and
scam.
Roostok, to be honest, in Roostok, in that sense, we are really proud. We've been like 100% uptime. I think we're like over 83 or 85 hash rate currently as well. So I'm sure that we're taking the right direction. We had a company retreat, I think, 1 week and a half ago, and of course this was one of the topics that we addressed because some people are concerned about the security. You know, when you see Aave being hacked, you're like, well, what's stopping, of course, to all the main big players, even the longest layer 2 in Bitcoin, from being attacked. So of course, it was a big chat. I'm really happy that so far nothing has happened in all history of Rootstock, but it's something that is being taken very seriously, and our standards have never been higher. So crossing fingers, touching wood, as we say in Spanish. So nothing happens, but it's definitely a very big topic of conversations in companies right now.
I can imagine. What are the steps, the precautionary steps that companies are taking? And I know that we're almost running over time and you need to head to your next call. So do you have a couple of minutes, or do you need to run?
Yeah, no, I do have a couple of minutes. Maybe like instead of like the steps, which is something a bit more like institutional, and of course maybe some would have, I just wanted to chat about being a woman and investing, which is something that I think deeply touches our community, and of course maybe us personally. I don't know, maybe if you have a minute, like what was the first thing that you invested on?
In terms of like company,
Company, stocks, commodities, crypto, what was it?
I think I mean, definitely crypto. Crypto back in 2017, I bought Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin. And that was my first like step into, myself putting money into something, having conviction without my family being involved or anything like that. Yeah, it was a great choice. Obviously, I was
Nice.
still in
Yeah,
uni.
I mean, I don't
I
know
was
about the year, but nice.
I was still in uni.
Um,
And yeah, it felt really special. I've had like other angel investments later, investing in companies, or just have like a stock portfolio and so on. But like nothing, I never had that feeling. Let's say that it never brought me back that feeling that I had when I bought my first Bitcoin. It was also really complicated. I bought it on Kraken. It was so just I didn't understand shit of
different.
how it was going. It was so weird. Like it was like literally like looked like a spreadsheet almost. It was so complicated, but it felt like I was part of something. Yeah, and it felt really empowering,
Definitely.
and it was really cool. And it was cool to be part of something. Honestly,
Amazing.
yeah,
I mean, it's crazy, right? Because I don't know about you. You were originally from Italy, right? Yeah.
yeah. I'm half Italian, and then I'm Belgian, Algerian from Antwerp.
Oh, okay. Yeah, very, very cool background. My boyfriend is also from Belgium.
Oh, cool.
But I was gonna say that from Argentina, like the perspective on women like investing was so tough in even like for my generation, right? Like for example, my dad used to work in the stock exchange, so he always like encouraged me to invest since I was really young, but none of my friends had ever invested until we had like proper discussions on our inner circle about like, hey, have you ever bought stocks? Have you ever bought crypto? And I was always the first one kind of being very Spanish around like buy Bitcoin, buy Doge, buy Ethereum, or buy stocks. Just do
As it
something
should
with your
be.
money, but don't let it right. But it's so frustrating because the conversation with men in general was a lot more fluid than with women. And I was like, why is that gender gap still happening? And my first time buying Bitcoin was around 2015. I think it was even 2014. It was like $300, and I had this friend. I was studying Chinese back in the day, and we were on a break. We were like, "Oh man, this is so hard." And he was just like telling me, like, "Hey, have you ever heard of Bitcoin?" I was like, "Man, you're into another scam." He kept telling me about different things he was buying, and then I think it was a year and a half after that I actually was like, "Where is this coin that my friend mentioned?" It was into 1K or something, 1.5. I was like, "Oh, I definitely need to buy this. Like, this is moving." And I still thought I missed my opportunity. And I remember
Yeah, because
being with a
1K
friend from college.
is a lot. When you're
Yeah,
in
yeah,
uni,
yeah. I
1K
was
is a
with
lot. It's a lot of money, like
yeah,
1K,
but
Like
back in the day, I didn't invest much. I think I bought with my friend, and I was like 20, not even, I was 19. And with my friends, we already had jobs because in Argentina, it's very common to study and work at the same time, full time. So I was like, I'm just gonna put $100 here, and this is going to be very risky. And we did it, and we started experimenting the whole movement of things. And I remember back in the day, we checked back in 2017 or 18, and yeah, I mean, it jumped quite high. Not gonna lie, it was an amazing feeling. I thought that I was blessed by God back in the day. And of course, all the roller coasters, because people tell you about the good feelings, but I also felt at some point that I made awful decisions for not selling, for not buying. But so important as women to make a first jump. If we can do it together in community and network around it, it's always a lot better than doing it alone. You feel more, you feel safer when there's other people listening to you, than just jumping alone. But that's why I love this community, and that's as well why I really like the collective. We also have, as you were mentioning before, the Staking Solution, which is a way to like invest on Bitcoin and also own your money and when you actually stake it and you put it, you allocate it into builders, you never give your money away.
And it's
This is something really
non-custodial,
important, right? Like,
right?
it's almost
Yeah.
exactly. So basically, it's helping the future of Bitcoin, is helping builders, is not losing your money, is getting a percentage out of it. And if you have never invested, it's also kind of like a safe first step into something that is actually, it actually matters for people, for builders, and for the environment. When I say environment, of course, I don't mean necessarily nature, but I mean the Bitcoin environment. So yeah, honestly, glad to hear you are a first crypto girly. Not my case. First thing I bought was stocks and then jumped into crypto when I was 19. But it's always nice to hear this kind of stories from women as well.
Yeah, for
Something that
sure. And
definitely was
like,
missed.
it's thanks to a friend of mine that just like, yeah, just went all in. Honestly, he graduated and just started mining and made. I mean, he made a bunch of money with ICO, so that was definitely a big motivator to see, like, because it took a while before, like, from the moment that you start hearing about this thing, which, I think it's like people are just buying stuff online with like using Bitcoin. So
accessibility has changed though. Remember, like it used to be very different to buy Bitcoin, like literally like 10 years ago compared to today.
The stuff you were doing with it was not the same. Let's put it like this. But like,
no.
I mean, but the thing is, like, at the end of the day, I do owe it, and I'm grateful for this friend that just like pushed me to do it and evangelized me, because I could have been someone else that didn't necessarily. I mean, it also took me a year or two before I actually went and did it. But it is, like, listen to your friends. Not always it turns out well, but like sometimes you do get people that do guide you and show you things. And that's also why, like, at the end of the day, we have communities in crypto, right? Because you cannot do it alone. There's so much information out there. It's really hard to time the market. It's really hard to have a pulse on things. And a lot of the time, like, it's not necessarily, I wouldn't call it a fair game, but it's a game of information, and your goal is to have as much information as possible, to the point of putting yourself in the room where you can have direct or insider, of course, like that is,
and that's very important as well, because women as like buyers, and this comes from research, we are more careful as well with money. We do more research, we think more long term, and this might change with time, we never know, because also research has been deeply male focused. So maybe we're not doing the right points here. But so far, what the info says is we are more careful about it. So we need to find the right things that we want to invest in, and we need to find that meaning. We need to find maybe sometimes not just the yield play, but the actual information. And that's why I think in this world with a lot of fake media and now information flowing everywhere, having a meaningful community plays as well a strong like a strong play, let's say, into what you're going to do with your money. And I think not all of us have the benefit to actually surround ourselves with crypto girlies or people who are actually being like successful around you. And this kind of communities with Babesnet change that for sure.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think, like, I mean, women definitely tend to trade less compared to men, I think, but better, but in a way better. Like, once you learn how to trade, like, just better, honestly. It's something to think. We do spend more, apparently. Like, we're more better spenders.
I mean, check my nails, girl. Of course we do.
Oh my god! Like,
but
I need to go and spend $100 on my next manicure soon, because it's time. But yeah, it costs a lot of money. Like, compared, a lot of people don't really see this, but it's expensive to be a woman. It's really expensive, so we have to make sure we diversify and like make sure we invest properly and get that back.
Get that info. Get that info. Go trade if you want to get the nails done.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, be in the. Oh, my cat is here. Wait, let me.
And on that note, stake on the collective, girls. Get that ABI. Get that annual percentage, and get it with the tokens. But no, I agree. It's definitely. I wouldn't say it's a hard world. And I know I have a lot of privilege saying that, but again, sometimes we miss out on huge opportunities. Hello,
this
baby.
Is Mochi.
We miss out on those huge opportunities to connect with the right people. And again, Babesnet, the collective community, a lot of places out there have the quality that you might need in order to make the best decisions for your future. And they're just there waiting for you to join.
And also we have, so obviously like today we talked a bit about a lot of different things, but we're organizing 2 workshops to go more into depth into things, really, for people to ask more questions about DeFi, about opportunity, about staking on Rootstock Collective. So if you're a babe, this is a women's only workshop, but you know, you don't necessarily have to only be a babe or part of our chat to join. Like if you're a woman and you want to learn, just sign up. The links are here, and there will be also a little airdrop to anybody that joins. I'll leave it to you girls to tell exactly like what you have in mind, but there's always a surprise involved. So you'll get a little gift by joining, and we have these 2 workshops. So the first one is going to be on Thursday, and then we'll have a second one as well on the next week, which will have some variations. So if you want to join both, like you won't get bored. But yeah, we're doing these educational sessions, and I'm really excited to bring this. And we've been developing the whole side of Babesnet, both online and digital. So a bit of educational yoga on the weekends, like, you know, we keep it fun for the girlies. And yeah, I'm really excited about this. Is it gonna be you or Eleanor that's gonna be leading the workshop?
No, I think it's gonna be Elle. She's definitely going to be bringing more knowledge into what you can do to get those collective rewards. What is staking? What is actually being a backer? I mean, we already discussed a bit of it, right? Which is basically, in order to get that stake RIF, you need RIF. You can acquire it via different exchanges. You need to connect your wallet into our DApp, then you stake it, and then between all the builders and all the projects that you love, you allocate your backing and you earn rewards. It's as easy as that. So Elle is going to jump into more details of what that means and what kind of projects, what kind of rewards you can get from the ecosystem, what kind of percentage as well is getting back to you. They are getting paid in real assets, which is again like Bitcoin, our token, our stable coin, which is USD RIF. But basically, consider it kind of like a financial 101 course into what the rewards actually mean. So we were talking about opportunities for women who don't know about good investments, and I know legal will help me for saying investments, but
oh my God.
putting that money into rewards.
Yeah, everything.
Go for it.
Everything here, non-financial advice for educational purposes only. Do your own research and join the workshops. All good. Join our workshop. Anyway, I always have a little disclaimer on all my videos and so on. So you guys you guys know how it is.
That's the session that Eleanor, Director of Ecosystem, is going to give. I think it's, again, very important for everyone to stay informed and have this amazing opportunity, by the way, because it's free for you, and you're also probably going to get an airdrop from it to actually test the DApp. So you should definitely go and check it out if you have the opportunity.
Amazing. I can't wait. And super, honestly, it's been like so fun to just build experiences with you, both IRL and now digitally. And I'm very excited about the workshops that we're going to have. So I know that you need to go. But I just want to say that I'm really grateful for all the amazing women that we get to meet and collaborate with and do things together. And it's just like, it makes it really, really cool to discover like projects and, just other companies in the ecosystem that have amazing people behind, and we get to just like hang out and learn things from each other. And we're going to have so many more conversations like these. So if anyone has any questions, you can always like reach out. And if you want to join Babesnet, I'm going to post a form at some point on our page. It's it's not a gated community. Anyone is welcome. The only requirement is obviously being a woman. If you come through referral or someone that we know, obviously it helps, but everybody is welcome. So don't hesitate to join. We also launched our website, actually. Let me
hey, congrats.
Yeah, I forgot. Babesnet.xyz. Here we go. Ta-da! So exactly. So you have the form here if you want to join. Let me share it. We also launch our newsletter, so please sign up to keep in touch with everything that we're doing. And here is Join Babe, so you can just like go here and it's going to redirect you to our form. and which I have automated. So as soon as somebody joins in, I get the little notification. And here is our Babes map that has been moved to our website. So any event that's been organized by us, or like women events, or events organized by Babes or our partners, they will be showcased here so that you know that there's going to be a good mix and you're not going to be the only woman walking into a room full of men. That's what we try. And then just like a bit of a directory of all the events that we do. So we keep it very like simple, straightforward, useful. And then we'll be developing more. And this website has been built by the lovely ladies at Lit Collective, who you met, by the way. You met Cecilia at the brunch. So very excited about this. And we do need to add. There it is. So here you can find, if you click on the page.
I'm sorry. Flo mentioned that the scarves of our event in Paris were so cute. And I just want to say we raffled like 3 times for the scarf, and Alina was one of the winners, and Flo happened to win one as well, which was the most amazing coincidence ever. I'm so sorry. I just wanted to mention that because I see her in the comments.
Melissa, I got I know Flo did, and then she ended up she gave it to the owners of the restaurant.
That's the cutest.
She gave it to her.
Oh my god.
Also a bit of a conflict of interest, winning at your own event.
I mean, people witness, we raffled like 3-4 times. I was like, oh well, Flo happened to be the 4th. It was hilarious.
Yeah, no, she gave it to the owners of the restaurant because they did such an amazing job. So, yeah.
Cami, I wanted to show before we end, actually, if we can, just a quick display of the Dia. I think you have the link.
Yes,
and just give a quick view to the girlies into if they want to test before Thursday, which I think it's March, just to come with the right questions if they want to. So yeah, let me know if you have the link.
Yeah, send it to me. And then yes, here.
Yes.
Here it is. Okay. Let's do this. Walk me through it. It looks good. One thing about Rootstock, I have to say, and Rootstock Collective, you have really nice graphics. Like it just looks pretty. Which is not something.
The design team. I would make a snippet out of it and send it to the team.
Which isn't something that can be said for most, crypto companies. But I've always really loved your design.
Yeah, and even then, we're still working on it, right? Because we want to make it as accessible as we can for everyone. And of course, even though the product, we have again the backers and the builder solution, is not as simple as one might think to put it into a website that is as intuitive as it is right now.
And aesthetic.
So yes, shout out to the design team.
And aesthetic.
So I just wanted to show you a bit. So as you can see, first of all, you have our balances right there with some of our metrics. We have an outstanding amount of 35 million stake RIF. Guys, that is in a year and a few months. I'm so proud of our team. You can check 2 things that might interest you, which is to start the proposals. The proposals is basically, if you see the column on your left, right there, you can see all the proposals that are now live from different builders. So if you scroll a little bit, you can see that there is currently an active one right there, different milestones, different things that have been executed, meaning that they passed, another ones that were defeated. And like we were chatting, if you happen to go through the KYC process and off-chain proposal, and eventually you want to create your idea, you just go to the create proposal button in the orange section, and you can start creating your own project. This, as Cami is showing, is the details of what happened, for example, with one of the project, which is Block Scout, which is like an explorer of what we use in Rootstock as an explorer of the chain. And they are building a global wallet for us. So they requested 3.5, they went through the KYC, etc. And this is put on queue, if I'm not wrong. So that means that the voting has passed, and now they only have to wait a few 3 days, if I'm not wrong, to execute it and get the money. So yeah, that's a bit of how it goes. And then if you go to backing, which is also on the column on your left, is the second option. You can basically see how it is to actually distribute your stake riff between different builders and get the rewards that you like, which is sitting right now at 17% ABI, and that is per year.
That's pretty
So
good.
I think this is
Compared
a very
to-
interesting yield for a lot of people.
Yeah, compared to most yields, I mean, I've been seeing like 5%, 6%, to the point where it's like, you know,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna put it in the bank. Like,
Yeah,
let's
this
get my
is
annual
huge. And
yield.
you, again, important enough. It's not that you just put the money and you give it away, or that this is going to Rootstock. This is going to the builders that you decide have a future or a decision into the future of Bitcoin making. So you can choose from all of our builders and decide where you allocate your money. You can check different percentages. You just need to get RIF, stake it, and then allocate it without losing it once again. So yeah, up to you to connect your wallet, to get some RIF, to stake it, and to test the app. And then, of course, to come on Thursday and ask the questions that you may have into this.
Okay, sick. We'll look into it. So yeah, we'll share this in the chat as well for the babes that want to check it out before. Very cool. But yeah, again, like super intuitive website. I really like even when you look here in the backing, super like those gradients, they're so hot right now. Like super nice. Yeah, shout out to the design team, honestly, doing an amazing job. Very, very cool. Well, I look forward to this Thursday. Again, like the workshops are happening at 5:30 p.m. Dubai, what am I saying? They're happening at 7:30 Dubai time, which is 5:30 p.m. CET, European time. And it is going to be 11:30 a.m. ET. So if you're on the East Coast, it's at 11:30. So we try to capture as many people as possible. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. It's gonna be really fun.
Same. And shout out to our amazing team, the babes, Eleanor and Georgia, and not a babe, but an amazing founder, Sasha Goetz, who is also running in the collective. We normally say the girls and Sasha, which is the first time that ever happened to me in a team in crypto.
Yeah, right.
But that is the thing.
It happens never.
We are an amazing team, and we've been working on this for more than a year now, and the evolution of the product and the community has been amazing. So we're really happy now to be an official partner with you guys and bring more women into the community, bring ideas. If you want to stake, you have doubts, come to Telegram. We're here to help. But really looking forward to bring more women into the community with you guys.
Very excited to be part of it. And thanks again for coming today. And we'll see you on Thursday. I might do a stream tomorrow or Wednesday, like out of schedule, but otherwise I'll be back on Thursday, same time as usual, and probably solo streaming. And then I'll do a solo stream, and then we will have our workshop. So very, very excited for this week.
Amazing.
And yeah, I'm gonna let you go. And thanks to everybody that showed up and came to hang out with us. Big love for everyone. Don't forget to follow Rootstock Collective and Babesnet and Mood Labs and all of us and Tamara. And yeah, just support the girlies. All right, everyone.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. We'll see you soon.
Oh boy.
Bye. Bye-bye.